Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to your favorite show with your favorite bro. And we are back one more time on a Monday to discuss the action at hand today, going down live from Jerry's World very shortly between the Cincinnati Bengals traveling up to Arlington, Texas to take on the playpen of Mr. Jerry Jones himself. And in this one, we are going to have to roll with the Bengals. Why, you might ask, and I will tell you why. First of all, let us start with the Cincinnati Bengals. Well, where do we start there? First off, coming into the season, they just did not have the right energy, just the Jamar Chase contract lingering over and over. It just didn't feel like the right energy to come into the season with. While that did kind of get postponed, not even resolved, if I could say. I think that to a degree kind of, led to maybe a dissension between offense and defense early in the season, possibly between players, possibly. But they kept on pushing through that. They never started hot. I mean, this year was no different, but they are supposed to. This is their time, November, December, January. This is when they are supposed to pick up their, game and play at their very best, play Bengals football that we have gotten so accustomed to recently with Joe Burrow and Zach Taylor and everybody. But I think in this one, it will be a close matchup. But score, if I had to give a prediction with a gun to my head, 34-31. Bengals somehow, someway win because, well, starting you have Joe Burrow, and he's going up against Cooper Rush. And while I did discredit Cooper Rush last week, he got it done. Like, he's still a starter in the NFL. It is what it is. But he's going up against should be MVP candidate. Pretty much has the yards. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves across the team. For Joe Burrow, it's his offensive numbers that, I mean, like, he could literally be on a historic pace and it would not matter essentially this season because they are still vying for playoffs and not even in playoff contention just about yet. Jamar Chase, who's Joe Burrow throwing it to? It has to be somebody. Jamar Chase feeding. Yet the offense is still not, the problem. I'm going to the defense. Trey Hendrickson by himself had been leading the NFL in sacks, not just the team, the whole NFL in sacks. And then there are the DBs. This is where paying your quarterback comes at a cost. And the cost has been the defense, especially the secondary. If you go back to the Super Bowl that they did end up eventually losing to the Rams, Bengals had an excellent secondary. They had a number one corner in Chidobe Awuzie. Shout out to the boy from the Bay, from South Bay, from San Jose. But yeah, they had Cheeto at cornerback one. He handled that outside. They don't have that anymore. They had Jesse Bates, one of the best safeties still. Now he's down in Atlanta. They didn't want to pay him, or they couldn't pay him. He's not there anymore. And not just that, he was also a captain there. Amongst other players, Logan Wilson has essentially been the only linebacker in that linebacker room that has been up to par. Jermaine Pratt, he's here and there. He's not been consistent enough as you'd like him to. Somebody else, you guys haven't stepped up to the degree that your name is prominent enough for you to step up. When going against the Chiefs, you have your Nick Bolton, you have your Leo Chenal, you have your Drew Tranquil. When you go against your Baltimore Ravens, you have your Trenton Simpsons, Roquan Smith, amongst others. When you go against the Steelers, now they got Patrick Queen. They have all those guys in that front seven. Bengals, they are lacking that. Once you start paying your quarterback after, a certain time, an exorbitant amount of money, he has to come up with those differences and make up for those differences if he wants all that back. Now I get why Chris Canty was on him. Um, but in this one, I think Bengals pull it out. I think Lou Anarumo is an a brilliant defensive mind. And if Cincinnati calls for his firing, I could see him walking into the Chargers if Jesse Minter gets a head coaching job somewhere, and they are going to be absolutely lethal to deal with. Amongst other teams, I think there should be a lot of teams, especially the top teams, who are possibly just missing a defensive coordinator, kind of like the Eagles with Vic Fangio. It didn't work out for him with the Dolphins, but he came in with the Eagles this year, and he has that defense playing at a phenomenal level again. So he would have to go to a stabilized organization, but he would be an asset to any organization he walks into. On the other side, the Dallas Cowboys, I mean, shoot, even they could hire him possibly next season because they have no idea who their head coach is going to be. The guy that they paid over $60 million to play quarterback is hurt again, unfortunately. CD just got paid. He's going to be just disgruntled until he sees some, wins and a lot of production on the field, and that's just the job of a wide receiver. He'll do that at the maximum. Micah Parsons still not even getting paid, so we'll see what his future holds. There is so much of a mess to kind of get into. Zach Martin being out, that offensive line being a shell of themselves. Cowboys have a lot of work to do. Could not pick them today, but we will see what happens. The Cincinnati, please do not make the mistake of letting Lou Anarumo go, because today on December 9th, 2024, I will predict that he will make you guys suffer. Love y'all. Peace.